Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Infuse Your Future podcast, where we bring together people and ideas who are making the world a better place. I'm your host, Dr. C. All right, so I'd like to welcome Tammy to the show. How are you, Tammy?
I am awesome. How about you?
I'm great. I'm great. So, why don't you spend a minute to tell us about you, what you do, how you infuse the world?
So, I am the hold your hand and kick your ass business coach. And that is what my clients named me because that is exactly what I do. I've been working with small businesses for over 20 years, and I specialize in working with baby business owners. Like idea stage up to 2 years is where I focus my energies. My favorite people to work with are the what I call the praying for the pink slip crowd, because then I can get them ready so that when that blessed day comes and they get the package and can get out, we can have them hit the ground running. And I do things very differently. I'm honest, I am practical, and I only teach stuff that has been tested in battle, not these wonderful theories that sound great and work if you have an unlimited budget and numerous people you can delegate to itself. No, it's for real people in the real world dealing with real crap.
That sounds perfect. Absolutely perfect. By the way, what's your name?
Tammy Johnston,
Tammy Johnston, and your business name?
KSA Business.
All right. So what do you love best about your job?
What I love about helping people set up a business that is successful, sustainable, and fits in with their particular life. Because everybody's when I started my business, I was a happily married woman, no kids. Then we basically got pregnant right away after doing it because, like, you can never add enough interesting stuff to your life at one time. And then, so I'm building a brand new business and pregnant, and I don't know how women repeat that process. I just hats off to them, but it wasn't for me. And then keep building a business through literally newborn. Like I took a 30-hour mat leave, and my daughter was seeing clients with me before she was 2 days old. And
Wow.
now my daughter is 20 and in university. So all the different stages going through it in business and all of that. And how I can run my business now is very different than I could like when she was in preschool, and adjusting, and then where my business has been and the things that so it's like there is no one size. I hate one size fits all. I've tried those things on and they don't fit all.
They do not. No, they don't. But it sounds like that you've been, taking a child through your business. You've been through every stage of that, and
Pretty
it is very
much.
different.
And I work with a lot of parents, and mostly moms, but a lot of dads, because wonderful thing, dads are getting more and more involved in the lives of the kids. I don't think my dad ever changed a diaper in his life. Um, but people with numerous kids or just one, and single parents, and people who like and everything in between, and people that, okay, no, I'm retired from my main jobs, my kids are grown and now I want to do this, or really young people starting out going, the job market sucks, so why don't I do this? And like everybody, business is available to everybody, not anybody, but everybody.
Yeah, that's so true. That's I think a lot of us live in the scarcity mindset, and that kind of prevents us from going out and doing what we want.
Yeah.
So, having an abundance mindset really helps with that, and an adventurous attitude.
Yes, it definitely helps, and I love seeing that in people. And the main reason why I do what I do is because it breaks my heart every time I see a small business fail, and the failure rate is absolutely astronomical. And it's very, very rarely has to do with a problem with the product or service, or the owner isn't working hard enough. They're failing because they don't understand. They don't have the business skills. They don't know how to create a successful, sustainable business around their product or service. And the basics are the same, no matter, like, doesn't matter anything. The basics are all the same. So I'm going, I come in and teach them all the things that help them run a business, and what questions you need to ask, and how do you figure out who are the people you should be listening to and who are the people that should be talking to the hand, and put together something that can succeed, because everybody loses when a small business fails. It's not just the business, it's the customers, it's the family, it's the community, it's we all lose. So let's help them succeed in an honest, ethical, and moral way.
And I love that about your business too, is you, I think you even have it in your tagline, or at
Mhm.
least, when we were talking initially, honest and ethical and sustainable and
Yeah.
profitable.
Yeah. Because if you're not profitable, you're not a business, you're a volunteer, and you just haven't figured it out yet.
Right. You just have a really expensive hobby.
Yes, yes. And they're not mutually like there's so many people think that it's an either or world. No, some of the most successful, happy, profitable small businesses are also like the most generous and most like you can and you should have it both. And one of the
Right.
beautiful things about a business as a parent, like yes, you're going to work harder than you ever have in your life, but you discovered that when you became a parent. But you have control over your time. Like you don't have to ask permission. Like I never had to worry about, okay, well, can I be pizza mom for my daughter's school or can I do this? And going, I just set up my schedule around it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I wish I had gotten into business really before my kids were born,
Mhm.
but certainly sooner, because
Yeah.
they're both in high school now.
And now you're a professional chauffeur?
Well, I am, but I'm happy to say that right now my husband is doing a lot of that.
Oh, okay, that's a
Yeah.
win.
But thankfully, I have a very motivated child, but that is a very exhausting job when you have a motivated child. And we don't push her to do anything, but she wants to do the club soccer, and she wants to get the basketball in there, and she wants to do the band, which is
Does
a
she want to
zero
get a
zero.
driver's license?
Well, thankfully she's too young for that, but she
Oh,
will.
okay. Because I know a lot of people that they're just you know what? A lot of people are parents stress about their kids getting the driver's license. They're going, I can't wait because then I might actually spend time outside of the driver's seat.
in, in my case, I can wait because it terrifies me to have my kids on the road.
I get
Terrifies me.
it.
So I can wait. In fact, my son is old enough to get his license, and I know that he's working on studying for his whatever the exam is you have to take.
Mm.
But I'm not pushing him at all. I'm like, the longer it takes you to get that license, the cheaper it'll be, and the more
One of the
relaxed
things
I'll
that I
be.
noticed with like my daughter, she's 20, and like a lot of my friends, their kids all around it, and it seems that fewer and fewer kids are even remotely interested in getting their license. And usually, if they are, it's the girls, not the boys, that are wanting the driver's license. And I'm just going, I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around that because when I was 60, like if you could get your license, like everybody went as soon as they possibly could and got their license.
And it's also about having the money to buy the car and to get the insurance and to buy the gas.
Yes, that's gone up an awful lot, but it was still such a major rate of and they don't just they my daughter will never drive, and that's fine. That is not her. We tried teaching her, and that was not a good thing. And she doesn't want it, so she's more than happy being the passenger and having the nap and public transit. She says that's good for me, mom. Okay, great.
That is so funny. Now, I heard you say that there's a lot of people out there just waiting for their pink slip
Yes.
to have the excuse to start their business.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering a couple of things. I'm wondering what type of businesses that you help people create. And well, let me start with that.
Okay, well, I've helped people create all sorts of things. Some people just want to go into consulting. Some people have gone in a completely different direction and basically looked at taking their hobby and turning it into something. I've helped people set up like restaurants and tea shops and breweries and their own massage practices and trades. So like plumbers, electricians, people that do the HVAC stuff. I work with holistic people. I have artists and comedians for clients. I have authors that I've worked with. I have very successful high-end builders, virtual assistant companies, beauticians and estheticians. Yeah, it's
So you
pretty
really
much
do run the
everyone.
gamut.
Business is business is business. The foundation pieces and the 8 things that every single business person needs to know and look after. It doesn't matter what the business is. You've got those. And as long as you technically know your skill, because like I've got professional photographers, and I went to their national convention years ago, and they had me and one other person speak about the actual business side of photography. Everybody else is talking about like Photoshop and posing and lighting and all of this stuff. But 2 of us, and this is supposed to be the professional, and I'm going, I don't know any, like, next to anything at all about photography. Like, you're doing well if I am pointing the right end of the camera. I had 2 people get up and walk out.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because it's
Well,
like,
business is the most important thing, and they
yeah.
don't teach you that unless you go to business school.
Well,
Nothing
even
else
I've
is
had a lot
teaching
of
you about the
people that have been
business.
to the business school and have come and started working with me. They're going, I've learned way more. Like, it's not that they didn't learn stuff. They didn't learn stuff that was actually practical and useful, and that they could understand, how does this actually apply to me? Because a lot of your business school stuff, they're teaching you corporate level stuff. And
Mm.
baby business, start building from scratch, in corporate, they're night and day in a lot of ways. And I said to the photographers, I said, if you're not making money in your business, you just have a really expensive hobby. And a bunch of them started laughing and stuff like that. We started going through, and I said, I don't need to know the photography business. You need to know the photography business. I'm here to teach you about some of the business aspects. And they absolutely loved it. But it just blew my mind that in like a 3-day full professional conference, these are supposed to be people that are doing this for a living. Like, there's 2 of us, only 2 sessions on anything related to the business. And this is why most photographers, along with most besides, like, people aren't making money because they don't understand.
That does not surprise me at all. My first and I don't want to say fading, but my first career and the one I'm transitioning from is a podiatrist.
Oh,
They
okay.
don't teach you anything about medicine and about business in medical school. And
No,
I've
and
gone to
typically even less
conferences.
about money.
Yeah. And I've gone to conferences for 25 years, and only once did they have speakers who were talking something about business. And at that conference, there were all these guys running around like freaking out because they felt like it wasn't a true scientific conference. And I know I'm thinking to myself, we're finally getting some good stuff here, you know?
You know what? That doesn't surprise me in a lot of ways, because, like you said, I was really honest. Like you said, I don't nothing about photography, and 2 people literally got up the moment I said that and walked out. But I said,
Well,
I'm here to teach you business.
there's literally a book written by an orthopedist called Why Doctors Don't Get Rich.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because they're busy practicing medicine,
Yep.
and they're not doing anything to grow their money or invest their money or
Mm-hmm.
learn about money.
Or how to properly set up their business. They have jobs that own them,
Right. Right. That's the key.
because they can never leave. They can never take time off, because if they stop working, all the money stops coming in, and then there's no need
Hmm.
for, like, even then when they have support staff, the doctor isn't working. There's a Because the doctor does not have a business. The doctor has a job that owns them.
So tell me, somebody's out there still dreaming about getting that pink slip, but they're really good at their job. That pink slip is not coming. And they finally
Well,
wake
that
up to
doesn't
that.
necessarily mean anything. I know lots of people, because it used to be that if you were good at your job, you were the first hired and the last fired. I have been through with so many people. What will happen now is they just go in and the entire department is fired. They're laid off, and then you can apply back for your job, and you can do this. It's not because they don't want to deal with the emotional stuff or anybody going along. No, we just do it across the board. I had one I have a good friend and client. He worked for the same company for 4 years and went through that 4 times. On the fifth time, he just left.
Good for him.
Yeah. I'm going, dude, what took you so freaking long? But yeah, and because that's what they're doing. So it doesn't matter if they're good. Hopefully it is protection, but I would say 99% of the time that's false and totally complete bullshit.
That is true. But suppose somebody stops waiting for their pink slip and decides they're going to start their own business now. Um, what do you do for them? How, like, they decide to hire you, walk us through the process. What do you do
Well,
with
number
them?
one, I would love for them to hire me before they get so pissed off at their job and they leave, because it's
Mm.
so much easier to be building a business while you have that job. And I said, but they hate my job. I said, well, then use that hatred to fuel you in the evening to get your stuff done. And then they get going, because I'm going, if you quit, like, yes, you have that wonderful relief, but then you have all this other stress because everybody I know has bills. Like, even if your house is fully paid for and stuff, have you seen the price of groceries lately? Of course you have. You have 2 teenagers.
Groceries, gas, insurance.
All of that stuff, and it adds up so quickly. Going, if you are like, I want to help you build your stuff so that when you do either get your pink slip or you say, you know what, I'm good to go now, I can leave this because I can hit the ground running. That is the best way to do it. But if like you have been fired out of the, like, that's how I started my business. I was in a job I absolutely freaking hated. I was already looking for other work. I was doing interviews. One more week, and I would have been to another company, a better position, better pay, and it would have been same shit, different pile. But anyways, I got called into my incompetent boss's office, and I got fired. And just all of a sudden, I felt this weight being lifted off my shoulders, and I'm going, I'm finally going to do it, because I'd had people telling me for years, you need to go into sales, you need to start your own business, you need to be on this side of the desk. And I kept coming up with all the reasons why. Nope, 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 nope. And then when I was fired in that moment, I actually started grinning, and it totally threw my boss off, because he's expecting me to be upset. And I'm going, no, I'm free. I never have to work for another creepy, incompetent old man again. And got paid out, and I went home, and I'm going, oh shit, now I have to explain this to my husband. That ain't gonna be so good. My husband has been wonderful and supportive and all of this stuff. Like I said, I've been running my own business for close to 22 years now. And but I had to start everything from scratch. And I started my business in a much, much better position in terms of business knowledge and all of this stuff than most people, because my job was to support the sales people and the agents, and how do you, like, any problem they had, it was my job to fix it. But I go, the reason why I do what I do now, and I like helping the baby business, I'm going, if I could go back and talk to me 1 year before that beautiful firing and say, okay, Tammy, you need to start getting things ready to start your business. And yes, you know things, but here's all the stuff, like, here's a much better foundation. It would have made my life so much better, because I went from, yes, I hated my job, but I got paid every 2 weeks, and I knew that was coming in, and my schedule was determined by the idiot, but it was a set schedule, and we knew, like, it was all external, and I didn't have to do all the thinking. The moment you start your business, you go self-employed, you have to do everything, and you have to decide and figure it out, and you're not sure where to start and how do you do this. And like, I don't have to be at the office for 8:30, and so what are you doing with your time, and am I being sucked into things that don't matter? And I'm getting advice from all over the place, and some of it's good and some of it's bad, but I don't even know which is which yet, because I don't know enough. And I'm going, if I could go back and talk to me 1 year, because when I was fired, I was making about $55,000 a year, which was decent. Um, my first 2 years in business, I made an average of about 24,000. That's like, and that, if you average it, $1,000 a month. But when you're running your business, it's not, okay, every month I'm going to get, no, it was like all over the place. And I'm dealing with a brand new baby who does not sleep, and just,
Oh. And do you look back on that time with fondness now?
Fondness and questioning how I survived and stuff. And I'm going, knowing what I know now, like I said, I wish I had found me, but I didn't exist back then. Business coaching, it did exist, but it was still basically in its infancy. And there, basically any business coaching you had were for already extremely established people. Now everybody and their dog calls themselves a business coach. And it's just, yeah, that's funny. Um, but I would have delayed having my daughter by about 2 years. I still did it, but my daughter nursed 5 times a night. Like she's fed more
Yeah, I
during the
remember
night than
both of
she did
mine,
during
every
the
two
day.
hours, every 1 to 2 hours, both of them were up.
Yeah. And I'm going, I'm not function like how do I do this? But I was able, okay, I can adjust. I can adjust. So we did. And we made it through. Like you said, now she's pretty darn independent and she's wonderful. But I was able to be pizza mom and field trips and I never had to ask, can I go on vacation or my kid's sick? I need time. No, I just worked around it.
That's beautiful. Yeah, being your own business owner, maybe it has its stresses, but it's great. You're your own boss, for better or for worse.
Yeah. And there's ways you can make it a lot more better and reduce the worse.
That is true. With coaches,
Good coaches.
good coaches,
Good coaches. Because like I said, there's a lot out there. And not
and
only
good.
are bad coaches,
Uh-huh.
but they're just wanting clients to come in. So they're not caring if it's appropriate for
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
client at this moment. Like I've picked up so many clients that have literally dropped thousands upon thousands of dollars on coaches. Great product, but they're going, okay, we'll teach you how to set up your Facebook ads so they're absolutely kicking your brain, but they don't know anything at all about business. So it's like you're trying to teach advanced calculus to people that need to learn how to count in the right order.
I love that. That's hilarious. It's true.
So I'm going, let's get you the foundations, the basics and stuff. Or
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot that you can find really good coach. Like once you've been in business for 5 years and you're looking to scale, yes, wonderful. They're great. They're brilliant. They know their stuff. But if you're, like I said, you're learning to count and still trying to figure it all out, you're trying to make sure that you're not putting the round peg in the square hole, and you're being offered, like I said, advanced calculus, it's a waste of your time, effort, and money.
Mm-hmm. So true. And when people start working with you, about how long does it take to get from the pink slip to the sustainable, profitable, ethical business?
Well, that's a great question, but it's a loaded question that does not have a set because um, it depends on your situation and how much time and effort you're able to put in. So, like when I'm working with parents with young kids, they have so much demands on their time because their kids need so much more. And I'm going, what is realistic for you is going to be very different than what it would be realistic for you. Like, yes, you're still very busy with your kids, but they're teenagers. You're not having to make sure they're wiping their butts. I hope not. And there's different levels. And like I said, my daughter is 20. I don't have to worry about her. So I'm able to put in a lot more time and effort. Plus, I have my base level for knowledge on business is way up here. When I've got somebody who's starting off and they're just little, like I call them my baby business owners, they don't have the knowledge and the skills and stuff, and they've got a lot of demands on their time. Well, it's going to take them longer.
Mm-hmm.
So it very much depends. And like some people, like they have the support, they've got the time, and they're driven, and they're able to pick things up really, 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 really quick. Great. And I've seen some where, okay, we've been working with them for years, and they have very steadily progressed, not just in their business, but one of the reasons I love working with like parents and stuff like that is because so many of the business people, they only focus on the business. And well, how your life is going at home interferes with everything. So I've been able to work with quite a few going, okay, let's talk about how things are running in your personal life. And we get
Mm.
that stuff sorted out so that they're not doing absolutely everything for their 12-year-old kids and stuff like that. Then they can go off and they're happier and their business is able to succeed. Because a lot of the time, I've seen so many like, yes, we need to get stuff going with your business, but the biggest obstacle to your business is the chaos in your family and your home. Let's work on getting some of that figured out first, and then dealing with the business stuff is easy.
Isn't that the truth? In fact, before when you were talking about having a good coach on your team, I started to add also a good therapist helps.
Oh yeah, huge. And a lot of the time, the coach or the therapist are a lot of the same roles. And like I said, there's tons of good coaches, but is it a good coach for you for where you are now? Because they could be a perfectly good coach like 2 years from now. Like I've had people, because it's all about you're supposed to specialize, pick your niche and stuff like that. And I'm going, yeah, I get that, but if everybody's a specialist, who's going to be your good family doctor that can help you look after things and figure out, okay, you actually need to go see the podiatrist or you need to go see the oncologist, or you're going to be spending all of your money going, somebody's got cancer and they're coming to you. Well, you're brilliant at what you do, but you're not an oncologist.
Yeah, great analogy. So how do you work with people? Do they hire you, you work once a week?
So how I do my stuff is I do a small business class. It's a weekend intensive, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, and we go over all of the basics. And then what I do afterwards is we do a group mastermind for a year afterwards, where we continue to learn and expand on the stuff we taught, add in some new stuff. But most importantly, set you up for your habits and your schedule and your routine and give you that wonderful positive support. There's a reason my clients name me the hold your hand and kick your ass business coach, because, and I do all my stuff live. Why? Because then it is an appointment in your calendar and you show up and you can ask questions, and if we notice when you're not there, and so do the other people. And I've had people build relationships, because I'm just gonna be really honest here. I'm a very disciplined person in comparison, like not perfect, but very disciplined. I get my stuff done. And when it comes to the stuff online, we can always put it aside. So, for example, I signed up for this Instagram course from this coach, and it is a gorgeous course. Like the material is wonderful, it's absolutely wonderful. It's supposed to be 6 weeks, and I have lifetime access to it. And when she updates things, because it's all about like Instagram and stuff, there's all the stuff there. You want to know how many weeks I've completed?
One?
Four.
Oh, four, more than I thought.
Four. You know how long I've had the course?
A year,
Three.
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, I'm
3 years I've had
usually
it.
pretty good about stuff, but I definitely have courses that I've barely started, at
Hmm?
least two of them.
Yep.
I've had one, lifetime access. I mean, it was a deal I couldn't pass
Hmm.
up, $97 for lifetime access to all of their stuff.
Yep.
And I think I've done half of one workshop,
Hmm. And is there
although
anything
I
wrong
do
with the
tend
workshop?
to finish them.
Yeah. Is there anything wrong with that workshop? Is it a really good
It's
course?
fabulous.
Exactly.
Fabulous.
And like I said, I love it and I will get back to it. But when it's online, I have lifetime. Well, I can always get back to it. And this something else where, no, I do my stuff live. You get to ask questions. It is a set time in your schedule. And then we hold your hand and kick your ass for your, and I've had people
Now, is
just go
this,
through again and again and again, because I've been teaching the small business stuff for 19 years.
wow. So this is a group coaching.
Yes. And
All
I do,
right.
and then if people do want to upgrade to um, have a private one-on-one with me every week, we do offer that as well. But I like the group because you get a different dynamic when you get to learn, oh, well, the plumber and the electrician people are asking the same types of questions as the massage therapist and the restaurateur. I guess this does apply to all of us. And I do diverse group. Like there's great coaches that work with podiatrists or whatever, and you get really special things out of that because you get to get really technical and into like specifically for you. But I like the diverse groups because I've had, and I'm constantly learning. We're sucking up information everywhere we can. One of the reasons I love business, if you're bored, you're doing it wrong because there's always stuff to learn. But I take stuff that, oh well, like literally the plumber and the electrician types over there are talking about it. It's the same thing. And how can they help out the massage therapist? They're in completely different businesses, but the plumber and the electrician could be potential clients for the massage therapist. So if the massage therapist, well, what do you guys think about this? How is this and you get this beautiful, connected, diverse world where everybody gets a better of understanding of each other and their businesses and how things work and how their customers think. Where, like I said, in a small niche group, you get the added like super technical stuff and you can get right into it. Pros and cons to everything.
Oh yeah. And there's a lot of value to having a diverse group
Mhm.
because you see things differently
Yeah.
and you see ideas differently and you just get a richer experience.
Well, I find it gets people out of the echo chamber. And we
Yeah, that's
naturally go to our echo chamber because this is our tribe and stuff. But when we have, like I said, that diverse group, like how often are your massage therapist people interacting with, like I said, your tradespeople or restaurateur, like all of them. But they get to, okay, and then they open up how they think about everything.
hmm so true.
And age and like people, well, you need to work with women between the no, I've had men and women. The youngest person I had come to my small business class was 17 and the oldest was 80,
Wow. I love that.
and everything in between. And then you have
So
your millennials learning from boomers and Gen X and all of, like I love teaching my classes and working with my groups because it's magic to see.
is there a minimum age requirement for your group?
No, like I said, the youngest I've had in small business class was 17.
Yeah, yeah. And have you ever had families that have joined together?
Oh yes, quite a few. Like I'll have sisters, and like I've had people that are doing the business together, and I've had people that are doing businesses completely separate. In fact, I have two sets of clients, and it's a woman and her brother-in-law, and they're both business have nothing to do with one another, but how it's set up, it's almost like a mirror, and they have extremely opposite skill sets and stuff, but they are so perfectly complementary, and they love and appreciate one another, and that's why they're able to like they kill it.
Now, do you have these classes every day of the week?
No, 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 no. So I do my classes on the weekends. And the reason why I do that is because especially when people you can find help with the kids for the weekend. Or it's not interrupting time with your job. It's like, okay, let's get you focused. And then afterwards, when we're doing the group coaching, it's like half an hour on Monday. And we go through. So I want to make it so that it's accessible and it can fit in with life, and it's going to push you, but in a way that you can handle, because there's so like I love learning. I've taken so many courses and different things, and there's been great ones, but they want to hit you with so much, or they put you on like you have to get this done now and now and now and now, and they want you working from like 7 a.m. until 11 o'clock at night. And I'm going, I can't do that. I have a family and other things, and
hmm
my brain doesn't work that long, and neither does yours.
And then do you not pre, do you record the group sessions in case maybe someone has a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday and they can't make the Monday session? Um,
We've pretty much always been able to make it work. I haven't been recording them. I am kind of sort of playing with the idea of it, but the main reason I haven't is just because I've also found like if they have access to the recording, then some people will just do that and then they never access the recording. But then the other thing, it's privacy because we get to know each other so well, and it
mm,
needs to be a safe place where people can open up about their fears and their problems and stuff. And when we're just it's safe in the room, we're talking about it and then it's done, they feel safer than, oh, this could be a recording and people could hear that I'm an idiot who doesn't know absolutely everything 5 years from now. So I'm going, I haven't yet, and I don't know if I will. It's like you said, I'm playing with the idea.
yeah, makes sense. Well, I love to end our shows with a call to action. So I'm wondering if you have a call to action for everybody out there today.
Well, like I said, if you're looking at starting a business, or if you started a business and you are wanting some real help from somebody who's been in the trenches and loves it, find me. I would love to help you build a business. So you could find me at KSA Business, and the KSA stands for Kick Some Ass Business.ca, because I'm a pasty white Canadian chick. So .ca, not California, Canada.
Oh, okay. Got it. That sounds great. Well, is there anything you'd like to say before we sign off?
Well, just been having lots of fun, and said business is an absolutely beautiful thing. You can do it. You just need help, and you need to be willing to put in the time and effort, because overnight success typically takes 10 to 20 years.
That's longer than I would have thought you would say, but it's probably true.
Well, if you actually go look through like these all the overnight successes, if you actually go back to when they started. So here's the thing. So you're familiar with a little company known as 3M?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know how long it was before a single executive was able to take a paycheck?
Oh my gosh. No, I have no idea. I'm
13
scared.
years.
13 years?
13 years.
What?
Yeah.
That's
And like there's a lot, like I
crazy.
said, overnights, because you hear about the overnight successes because it's in the media, but they usually are bullshitting on, like you said, the overnight part, or they just, like you said, every now and then some people, if they do skyrocket to the top, but then people also win the lottery. But that's not how you're planning your retirement, is it?
Well, especially artists and actors and musicians. I mean, they're hitting the pavement for years and years before they
Oh
get a
yeah.
break.
I love seeing, like you'll see on YouTube and stuff. Look at the jobs that these guys had before they were famous, and like I think Brad Pitt used to dress up as like a mascot, and like they're going through all the crappy jobs they did when they were going for auditions and stuff. And yeah, but they put in the time and effort. Like somebody who's trying to say, I can make you super successful in 90 days or less. Yeah, huckster,
So
huckster.
true. So true. All right. Well, thanks for being on the show, and I'll make sure that we include all of your information in the show notes so people can find you.
Great talking with you, Carla.
Yeah, great talking with you too. Hey, everybody. I hope you really enjoyed that episode. I'd really appreciate it if you could share this with at least two other people to help us grow. You can do that by clicking that little icon that has a piece of paper with an up arrow in it. Super easy to share. It would also be really great if you could follow the podcast so that you don't miss future episodes. If you don't know how to do that, check out those three little dots in the upper right hand corner and follow the leads, and it'll get you there. Now, super brownie points to anybody that goes in and rates our program through the little star. Again, that's through the three little tiny white dots at the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Finally, if you think you're ready to invest in yourself with a life coach and you want to work with me, just send an email to Dr. C at infuseyourfuture@aol.com, or head on over to my website, infuseyourfuture.com, and you can contact me there. All this information will also be down in the show notes. So until next time, have a great day and continue to infuse your future.